The Nintendo Switch 2 is an absolute beast of a handheld, but that bigger screen and all that extra horsepower come at a cost. A solid power bank turns a 2 to 3 hour session into an all-day marathon. Here are the top 5 best power banks for the Nintendo Switch 2. The Ugreen Nexode PB20525,000 mAh 145 watt power bank is built for people who carry more than just a Switch 2 and refuse to compromise on charging speed for any of their devices. It packs 25,000 mAh of capacity, the largest on this list, which translates to roughly 4.5 full charges of the Switch 2 on a single cycle. That is enough to keep the console running for days of portable play without ever plugging the power bank into a wall. Where this one really separates itself is output. The primary USB-C port delivers up to 140 watts on its own, which is massive overkill for the Switch 2 but means it charges the console at absolute maximum speed without even working hard. That same port can also fast charge a MacBook Pro to over half in about 30 minutes, so this is not just a gaming accessory. It doubles as a legitimate laptop charger. The second USB-C port pushes 45 watts, and there is a USB-A port rated at 22.5 watts for legacy devices. All 3 ports can run at the same time, distributing up to 145 watts total across whatever combination of devices needs power. Ugreen also included a digital LED display that shows remaining battery percentage at a glance. It is not as detailed as some smart displays that show real-time wattage, but it gives enough information to know exactly how much charge is left before needing a refill. Two-way fast charging means the power bank itself can go from empty to full in about 2 hours with a 65-watt charger, and pass-through charging lets it power devices while it recharges from a wall outlet. The compact flat design slides into a bag more easily than expected for something with this much capacity, though it is heavier than the smaller options here. For anyone who travels with a Switch 2, a laptop, a phone, and maybe a tablet or Steam Deck, this is the one power bank that replaces all of them without blinking. The Anker 737 power bank is a powerhouse that goes well beyond what the Switch 2 actually needs, and that is exactly the point. It holds 24,000 mAh of capacity, making it the biggest battery on this list by a comfortable margin. That is enough to fully recharge the Switch 2 roughly 4 times over before the power bank itself needs a top-up. For long flights, road trips, or weekend getaways where a wall outlet is nowhere in sight, this kind of capacity is a game changer. The output is where things get really impressive. It supports 140 watts through USB-C power delivery 3.1, which is way more than the Switch 2 can even accept. But that overhead means it charges the console at maximum speed without breaking a sweat, and it has plenty of bandwidth left over to fast charge a laptop, a Steam Deck, or a phone at the same time. 3 ports total, 2 USB-C and 1 USB-A, make it a true multi-device charging station that fits in a backpack. The built-in smart display is genuinely useful too. It shows real-time wattage going in and out, remaining capacity, and an estimated time until fully charged. No guessing. No wondering if the cable is working. Anker's Active Shield 2.0 technology continuously monitors temperature during charging, adjusting output to keep everything safe. The trade-off here is weight. This is not a light power bank. It is noticeably heavier than the compact options on this list, and it takes up more space. But for anyone who wants one battery that handles everything in their tech bag, the 737 earns its spot. It also recharges itself quickly thanks to bi-directional charging, so downtime between uses stays short. If the Switch 2 is just one of many devices that need power throughout the day, this is the one that eliminates the need to carry anything else. The Shargeek S P170 is the most visually striking power bank on this list, and it backs up those looks with absolutely serious hardware. The entire body uses a transparent prism-shaped shell inspired by classic album art, giving a full view of the 6 electric vehicle-grade battery cells, the circuit board, and the internal wiring. It looks like something pulled straight out of a cyberpunk movie, and it turns heads every single time it comes out of a bag. But this is far more than a design piece. Under that shell sits a 24,000 mAh battery rated at 86.4 watt-hours, which is enough to fully recharge the Switch 2 roughly 4 times over. The total output reaches 170 watts across 3 ports, 2 USB-C and 1 USB-A. Each USB-C port can individually deliver up to 140 watts using power delivery 3.1, which charges the Switch 2 at maximum speed and has more than enough overhead to fast charge a MacBook Pro at full tilt. When both USB-C ports are used together, Output splits to 140 watts on one and 30 watts on the other, so a laptop and the Switch 2 can charge simultaneously without either device being starved for power. The smart display behind the transparent housing is one of the best in the industry. It shows real-time output and input wattage, remaining battery percentage, and internal temperature, all updated live. A low current mode activated by double pressing the power button optimizes charging for smaller accessories like earbuds and smartwatches, preventing the power bank from cutting off power to devices that draw very little current. On top of that, the Shargeek 170 carries an IP66 water and dust resistance rating, which is practically unheard of in the power bank space. A splash from a water bottle or a coffee spill is not going to cause any damage. The EV-grade battery cells inside are rated to maintain over 80% capacity even after 800 or more charge cycles, which means this power bank is built to last for years rather than degrading after a few hundred uses like cheaper alternatives. It recharges from 0 to 50% in about 20 minutes with a 140-watt input, and a full charge takes under 50 minutes, remarkably fast for this much capacity. It weighs about 1.5 pounds and is chunkier than a standard power bank, so it lives best in a backpack rather than a pocket. It comes with a 240-watt braided USB-C cable and a travel pouch. For anyone who wants a power bank that delivers top-tier performance, real-time monitoring, water resistance, and a design that genuinely stands out, the Shargeek SP170 is in a league of its own. The Anker Prime Power Bank, 20,100 mAh, is the most premium and powerful option to kick off this list, and it is built for people who want elite charging performance out of a compact body. It holds 20,100 mAh of capacity, roughly 72 watt-hours, which is enough to fully recharge the Switch 2's 5,220 mAh battery about 3.5 times over. That kind of endurance handles long travel days, weekend trips, and extended portable sessions without breaking a sweat. The headline feature is the 220 watts of total output spread across 3 ports, 2 USB-C and 1 USB-A. A single USB-C port can push up to 140 watts using power delivery 3.1, which is far beyond what the Switch 2 can draw, but means the console charges at absolute peak speed with tons of headroom to spare. When using 2 ports at the same time, each USB-C port still delivers up to 110 watts. And even with all 3 ports running, the 2 USB-C outputs hold steady at 100 watts each, while the USB-A covers smaller accessories at 22.5 watts. That kind of power distribution means the Switch 2, a phone, and a laptop can all charge simultaneously without any of them slowing down. The smart display on the front is another standout. It shows real-time wattage, remaining battery percentage, and estimated time until fully charged or fully drained. Anker also built in app connectivity through Bluetooth, so the display can be customized and power output can be adjusted from a phone. ActiveShield 4.0 monitors the internal temperature over 10 million times a day, keeping everything running cool and safe even during heavy multi-device charging. Anker's Power IQ 4.0 technology goes a step further by detecting which connected devices need the most power and automatically shifting energy toward them in real time. Recharging the power bank itself is equally impressive. It accepts up to 100 watts of input through USB-C, which means it hits 50% in just 25 minutes and tops off completely in under an hour with the right charger. The aluminum body is compact enough to fit in the palm of a hand at just under 6 inches long and weighs about 1.12 pounds. It is TSA approved for carry-on luggage and comes with a 240-watt USB-C cable and a travel pouch in the box. For anyone who wants the fastest, smartest, and most capable power bank to pair with a Switch 2, especially if it is not the only device in the bag, this is the top-tier pick. The Antank B5 magnetic power bank was built from the ground up for the Nintendo Switch 2, and it is one of the few power banks on the market that attaches directly to the console with a purpose-built magnetic clip. The detachable clip locks onto the back of the Switch 2 securely, keeping the power bank in place during handheld play without any wobble or slipping. It creates a clean, integrated setup that feels like it was meant to be part of the console from day one. Capacity comes in at 10,000 milliamp hours, and it delivers 30 watts of power delivery fast charging, matching the Switch 2's optimal charging speed. That means it does not just slow the battery drain, It actively charges the console while playing, even during more demanding titles. Depending on the game and brightness settings, it adds anywhere from 3.5 to 8 hours of extra gameplay. That range covers everything from a quick top-up during a commute to an extended session that lasts well into the evening. Versatility is another strong point. The package includes 2 removable magnetic clips, one designed for the Switch 2 and one for the original Switch or Switch OLED. So upgrading consoles does not mean replacing the power bank. It also comes with 2 USB-C cables right in the box, which is a nice touch that most competitors skip. The aluminum alloy casing handles heat dissipation well, keeping the unit cool even during prolonged use. Smart safety chips built into the circuitry protect against overheating, overcharging, and short circuits. And the whole thing is backed by a 24-month warranty with around-the-clock customer support. For anyone who wants a power bank that physically becomes part of the Switch 2 and charges it at full speed, this is the one to look at. Every one of these power banks solves the Switch 2's battery problem in a different way, so it really comes down to how and where gaming happens most. Which one fits the way you play? Are you a grab-and-go commuter or an all-day road trip gamer? Let us know in the comments below.